you guys are enjoying the time change. I know I am. And so I actually woke up. I'm just going to try to adjust this a little bit. I actually woke up with a ton of energy because I went to sleep at 11 or 7:30 last night. And even though we lost an hour, I still got 11 hours of sleep. So I am wide awake and ready to go. And I am a little early, which is totally okay. And I don't have like one of those zoom in cameras that are like, remote control. So I actually have to like manually like move the camera and whatnot. So anyways, so yeah, hello. And I was gone. I wasn't gone. I didn't upload a tutorial, I don't think at all last week. And that's because I was like mainly focused on my store. So I decided to go ahead and do a live, and I already have a lot of the stuff prepped. And let me just say this. This is probably going to be about a 45-minute tutorial to show you guys how to make this Easter wreath, because I want somebody who is completely brand new to wreath making to learn how to do this. So if you're someone who's like, oh my gosh, I've been making a wreath, I know how to do this, you might want to watch this on replay, because this is going to be a little chatty, it's going to be a little fun, it's going to be a little bit of everything, but you're going to be able to come out. And if you are following along with me, you're going to be able to make an Easter wreath. And we are going to be doing the curl method like so. And like I said, I already did a bunch of prep, but still, it's Sunday. You want to hang out, you want to relax, and you want to have fun. So we're not going to rush through this whatsoever. I feel like I'm out of breath, but I'm not. I haven't done anything. One deep breath. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do here is a very, very simple, and I say that very loosely because I know a lot of people are still completely brand new to wreath making. I see it in my comments, and I'm just gonna adjust this camera real fast. So I see what you guys are saying in the comments, like, thank you for going through like all the little details and whatnot. And I do have my little cat right there. He insisted on being here. That's Dusty. So I really appreciate all of the feedback. And so that's what we're going to do today. We are going to use mainly, I say, they are going to be Dollar Tree items, except for the mesh. That is the only thing that is not from the Dollar Tree. But I was actually given this mesh, so it's still very budget friendly on my end. And I did see that the dollar store has some like 10-inch mesh. It is gold, but they do have it there. So I think they might be bringing us some more. Who knows? But anyways, we are going to do, again, a very simple, kind of like the St. Patty's Day wreath. Very simple, not a lot of stuff to it. So you don't need a bunch of ribbon. You're just going to need mesh. And I went ahead and went through my closet and found some rolls that I hadn't, like they weren't completely used. And I'm going to show you here. See if I can move around my cat. Okay. Here's what I used. All right. So I thought about, hey, good afternoon. And it's the time change. So it's 11 a.m. here. I don't know what states don't have the time change, but I wish the time would stay the way it is right now here in California. I love this time change, not the one in fall. But okay, so what I have here, I had some of this mesh right here, and it's a plastic, but it's got some, like fabric to it. So it's a plaid right here. I wanted to use the last of this up, so I cut some pieces like that, and I'll show you how I incorporate them. Then I had this pattern right here. Again, I wanted to use the last of it up, so I incorporated that. And then I had this roll right here, and then I had a black roll right here. And we are going to be using a little bit of everything. This is a fun way to be able to like use up some of your like extra mesh that you didn't use the whole roll. I am famous for that because I don't like measure and calculate to where it would be like I would use an entire roll for one wreath. And I don't know why I'm so out of breath. I was going to use this. Oh, it's 2 p.m. in Boston. I love Boston. I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. So I was going to use this form. And I don't know, like, I don't think because we're using the curl method, I don't think that we are going to be able to see the true shape of the egg. So I really don't want to use this for this project, although we will be using this one next. But we're going to do it like we won't have some, it won't be as poofy. So you'll still be able to see the shape of the egg. And then I have some cute decor for this. But we are going to go ahead and use a round, this is the 14-inch frame that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I just happen to have a silver one. That's why it's silver, but nothing special. And I have this sign right here that we're going to use, again from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be cutting, and I'll point the camera down so you guys have a better view of how I'm putting this wreath together. And I'm just going to take the string off. We will cover these with little carrots that, again, I got from the Dollar Tree. They're these little twine wrap carrots. They're super adorable. And that's all we're going to put on the wreath. And I always say that, but I always end up adding something else. But I promise I'm not doing that this time. So what I did is I used up the rest of the 2 rolls of mesh that I said that I had. And I cut them into 10-inch squares. And I wish I had, okay, I'll just grab this one right here. So I took each, like I used all of this up and I just cut as many 10-inch squares as I could get out of this. And I did that for the other one as well. So I got 6 10-inch squares out of this one. The other fabric, this one right here, I got 12 out of it. And then I had 2 full rolls where I just cut like a bunch. And so I might end up with some extras. I might not. We will see. I'm not worried about it because the black and white I always find a use for. And 10 inches, like the square, I always seem to find a use for that. So what I did, okay, let's just turn this down. So what I did is I did the curl method. And let me just get a piece of mesh right here. So what I did is I cut it into a 10-inch square. And again, this is for somebody who has never made a wreath, because I know there are quite a bit of people on here that have made wreaths. They know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is for somebody who will come across this video and go, okay, what is a curl method? It has been not my favorite method, but I've been getting used to it. And so what you do after you cut your 10 by 10 piece, you're going to take the end of it, and the reason why I did 10 inches, in case anybody's wondering, is because it's a perfect square. I figure it's not too big because you don't really need too many curls. So I just did, you know, like a couple of rolls like that and then pinched it. I have some clips right here that I would clip it like so, okay? And then I would grab a pipe cleaner, and I would do this with 2 of the different styles of mesh. I have a pipe cleaner right here, cut it in half. What you would do is you take this, pinch the center like so, and then put 2 curls together. Now, I know they're gonna look kind of funky when they're placed together like so, and they're all gonna go in different directions, but once you start putting it onto the wreath frame, it'll all pull together. Like you'll totally see exactly what I'm talking about. So that is what I did. And again, you can do prep, like if you're wanting to plan like a wreath for the next day, you can totally plan, like do a bunch of prep and roll them while you're watching TV or, you know, just kind of hanging out. So, and that's what I did. So now we're going to go ahead and place these onto the wreath frame. Let's see. And I have a box full of the other mesh. So these are the ones that I have. So I have this one, and this one. And I know you're going to be like, I don't see a difference, but there's a difference. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, I have these all sorted in sections. I have a pattern that I'm going to stick with. Okay, so now we're just going to start adding this to our wreath frame. And this is it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the outer 2 edge, like the outer 2 rows. I'm going to put one right here. I'm going to do one in the center, and then I'm going to do one at the bottom. And I'm just going to go all the way around the wreath like that until the entire wreath is completely covered in these curls. And you see the reason why you cut the pipe cleaner in half, because you don't need much to attach it. And so there's that. And then I'm going to do 2 of these. And this is it. And so I did the curl method because it's actually not my favorite method of wreath making. And it's slowly growing on me. And so that's why I decided to do this today. And we're going to go like that. And you're just going to squish them together like so. Again, all the way around the wreath frame. So once you prep, this makes it so much easier to do. All right. There we go. And then just squish together like so. And this is the kind of wreath that you're going to get with the curl method. It's going to kind of just have a mind of its own, but it's going to be really full. It's going to be really just super adorable. And again, you don't have to do your entire wreath with curl method. You can totally do like some bows, some scrunches, and then add the curl in between. But because I want to do a full curl wreath, that is what we are working on here. So yeah, so this is it. And I am excited. Like Easter is usually super colorful, but I saw like a bunch of these like farmhouse style wreath, like the centerpieces. And so I was like, okay, we're just going to keep this super simple because I know a lot of people, including myself, who love the farmhouse decor. And that is what we are working on. And I don't have a total of number of curls that I'm going to be putting on here, but we're just going to load it up. So like I said, I know for a fact I have 12 of this style. I had 6 of this style, and then I have 21 of the other style. And if you want to do fast math and add that in your head, go for it. I'm still trying to like get focused and whatnot, so I don't have that number just yet. But okay, so this is what we're doing. And when you start to, oh my God, look at how cute this is. And this too would be a super cute Nightmare Before Halloween style wreath, right? I know a lot of people who are really into that, and this would be an adorable wreath for that. Or I love black and white for Christmas as well. I always like when you can take a holiday and do something so simple like the black and white, because it's kind of like off kilter. You're like, wait a minute, because holidays usually have like their own specific colors. And when you just do like the black and white, it kind of throws everything off, but it looks really good. It's like the shabby chic holiday color. So all right. And then this is all we're going to do. And see how easy this is. If you're a beginner and you've never made a wreath before, this is kind of like the foolproof style of wreath that you can make and not really worry about mistakes or anything like that. Not that for me, it's really hard to make a mistake in wreath making. And I say that after years of making a wreath, because I used to be so like hard on myself. But then I realized nobody else is noticing what I call mistakes. It's just me. It's just in my head. Okay, so here's the first section. So you can see how full this wreath is going to be. And you can adjust your curls however you like. And then we're just going to go completely. Yes, so I am, okay, so what I'm doing like right here, let's see if you're able to see. I am just kind of going, I start at the top, like start right here, then I go down, then I go down, and then I go back up, then I go to the middle, I go down, I go all the way back up, and I just repeat that pattern. And let me just say this, if you skip, like if you go right here, or you're right here, and then you accidentally or whatever go down here, nobody's gonna notice. Like it's not Like nobody can really tell that I've staggered this. It's almost like it's for my own mind. Like it's only for my own purpose. So like nobody's gonna say, oh, I noticed that you staggered your curls. And again, this is information for the people that have never made a wreath or never made a wreath like this. Nobody's gonna say that, oh, I noticed that you staggered it. To me, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll stagger it. Maybe there's gonna be a difference. Maybe there's not. But that's how I'm doing it. And so if you happen to just like I said, go one step and forget to put one like in the next one, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. You don't have to go back and like fix it. You're gonna be okay, I promise. So so now we're gonna add this, because as much as I want to follow a pattern, like sometimes, especially when I'm talking to everybody, it's hard for me to stay completely focused. So that's where I'm like, you know what? I do all kinds of stuff like out of sync and whatnot, and it always ends up working out. So so yeah. And if you have the smaller wreath frame, like the tiny little one, you can actually do this with the Dollar Tree, the 6-inch mesh. And we will be doing that as well. That's going to be another one. I'm going to do a couple of small wreaths just so people can see how those look with some mesh on it. All right. And this is how it looks. See how easy this is? And you can do, obviously, any colors you want. You don't have to do as many colors. And I say colors very loosely, clearly. I mean, I did different patterns, but all black and white. So yeah, do different textures. Do different, oh, this is one I do different textures, colors. Have fun with it. It's totally up to you. Like I said, I'm going to keep this one very simple. And then the only pop of color that we're really going to have on here are the little carrots. And then I'll go back through and eventually cut all of these pipe cleaners, like the little edges right here. I'll go back through. I may or may not cover the back, like with like some felt or something. I'm not quite sure. I might just leave it like that. And then, like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to end up putting this sign right on top. Can you see it? Coming together. And when you do the prep, this is what's so cool about it. When you do the prep, it makes this go by so much faster. And I'm going to tell you right now, I already lost my pattern because I was like doing 1, 2, 2, then 1. I already lost my pattern. So now I'm just grabbing random ones and hoping that they look in sync. But I'm having fun. It's going to be cute. Nobody's going to say, hey, you are completely out of sync. But yeah, this is how I do things. All right. And so I hope you guys are enjoying. I know, let me just say this. So there is an Easter video that I did. It's a tutorial. It's the first one I ever did. You guys can, it's been viewed quite a few times. And I'm going to say, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again though. I know you guys cannot hear me. I totally know that. This video was created and then deleted off my phone. It was something that I did in the beginning of the pandemic to just deal with my anxiety because I was stuck here in the house. And so I understand that you can't hear me. If you find that the tutorial is useful and you're somehow able to like figure out what I'm doing and how to follow along, thank you. But there is a part 2 where I've recreated that wreath and you can hear me. I get to this day, I still get comments about that tutorial and I'm like, I know. Hey, I'm doing a curl wreath, Fallon. I was totally thinking of you when I did this. But, so yes, if you guys come across this video, please know, I totally know you can't hear me in it. It says it in the description box. And there's absolutely nothing I can do because I don't even have that video anymore. And truth be told, right? I knew you'd love the curls. I never thought that anybody would ever view it. So, again, I did it for my own sanity. But that's the tutorial that created this channel. So it's like a full circle kind of thing. But, and we will be doing some Easter crafts. I have them prepared, that are not wreath related. So in case you're just like, oh dear God, it's another wreath. I promise that we will be doing something a little different. And I just want to be real with you guys. I've already like kind of like lost my stagger pattern. I forgot how I'm putting all of these in here together. So when you are doing a wreath, look at how pretty. Totally Nightmare Before Christmas, right? I can see a big picture of Jack in here. Like when you're doing a wreath, just have fun. Again, for the beginners, have fun. And I'm going to say this when you're creating. I thought, yes, if you saw that video, yeah, that's why, again, I mentioned it because of you, Fallon. I'm like, oh my God, people are still watching this video. And yeah, I know people can't hear me. It's like, there's like a disclaimer, like at the beginning of the description. I know you can't hear me. So, but, when you're creating, again, for the beginners, please have fun. Don't worry so much about like having it all prepped and ready and whatnot. That's why I'm creating tutorials. If you've watched a few of mine, you're going to see where I've messed up, where like I ran out of mesh or, you know, something happened and it still comes out perfectly fine. Wreath making, in my opinion, was kind of intimidating, but it's actually the one thing that I could make a ton of mistakes doing and nobody ever notices. And so once I stopped being so hard on myself, nobody has ever pointed out a mistake. And I keep waiting. I'm like, ooh, are they going to notice? And never. And so there was a comment that I also saw where somebody was like, you know, they've been making a bunch of wreaths and they're like, I haven't sold any and I have a bunch. Let me just say, I don't sell that many wreaths. I actually don't even sell them online, but in my store, I haven't sold like a ton of wreaths. Yes, exactly. I haven't sold a ton of wreaths and I don't care. Like, and I know, okay, I know that this is expensive and I know people have to sell their crafts in order to like replenish their stock and all that stuff. I get it. I can believe me. I want to be able to sell them for sure. But I'm like, you know, the right person will come along and see this fabulous wreath that I made and they're going to love it and it's going to go to the perfect home. If you're a wreath maker like this person and you're starting to like feel a little bummed because nobody's buying your wreaths, don't worry. Like, just, I know it's the craps when you've got like a ton of these things made and they're just laying around. Girl, let me just say, I've been making wreaths for years. I had this YouTube channel. I still am sitting on, oh, hey, Sarah. I'm still sitting on a ton of wreaths. So, I mean, I don't want somebody to think that, you know, oh, you're probably selling all of your wreaths as soon as you make them. I wish. So yeah, I just wanted to say in like real time, don't be so hard on yourself. This can be an expensive craft. It can be an overwhelming craft, but just take it for the joy of it. It's like an artist who has just a ton of paintings in their house that they painted and they just have like this massive collection. And that's what I think of my wreaths. I'm like, you know what? Someday the right person's going to come and purchase one of my grand creations and you know, just have fun with it. Truly have fun with it. I think if you join this wreath making society and you have, always go on it with high hopes, but if you put too much pressure on yourself. That's the word I'm looking for. You're not going to enjoy it. And that's what I did when I first started, because I started watching like all of these people who have been making them for like 30 years, it seems like. And everything is so picture perfect and so curated and so just amazing. And I'm like, I will never get there. And I was like, I was so hard on myself. And now I'm just like, what was I so worried about? You know, and I'm like, okay, I got this. But just have fun. All right. Okay, so I'm going to, all right, like I said, I don't have like an automated like camera thing, so I'm gonna have to like stand up and manually do this. Oh my goodness, I am in love with this. Holy crap, that's so pretty. I'm just like, look at this. Okay, this is the curl method. I'm gonna lay it flat. So I want you to see, in case you're like, my curls are all over the place. So are mine. Mine are poking out the back. This is just the method. And then just shove them forward. Mesh is pretty durable. Let me just say that. So you can kind of like manhandle it a little bit and push it forward, push it through. And it's fun when it's all like, you know, going wonky. So yes, this sign, voila, is going into the center of this right here, okay? And like I said, the only color that we're going to be putting on here are these cute little carrots. It's just going to be a hint of color because I'm thinking farmhouse. So that's going to happen right here. I'm going to turn my glue gun on. But what I'm going to do, since I still have, again, let me manually adjust my camera. Since if you're someone who has like, they've done like a bunch of extra ones like me, I'm just going to now throw them in here wherever. I'm just going to pick a spot. Let me see if I can. And just use this up. If you don't want to do that and you're like, I'm going to save this for another wreath, go for that. But might as well. And this just makes it incredibly full. And like I said, there are several different, there's 4 different patterns in here. And if you're looking for a place, again, brand new people, if you're like, where do you buy mesh that has like all these fun different styles of mesh? I buy my mesh at the wreath shop. It's online. I live in a small town and we don't have a crafting store, and Michael's is about 45 minutes away if the traffic's good. So, all right. So here we go. Still, see, it's super full. I'm just going around. I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up right now too. So in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and shove these in here. And there we go. And you can put like a backing if you want to like make this really seamless. You can get like poster board from the Dollar Tree. Cut out your circle before you do your wreath. Measure your wreath frame onto the poster board. Like even a black one, if you're doing something like this, you can cover it with felt, like glue some felt onto it, make it really nice, and then just glue it to the back once you're complete. And then you won't even have to worry about cutting off these little pieces. You can do that. I don't really do it too often. Certain ones I do, certain ones I don't. But I'm just looking now. I'm like, where can I stick this one? Here's a good spot. So yeah. And it'll be done in just a second. All right. Here it is. What do you guys think? Like, you would not see this and go, that's going to be a cool Easter wreath, right? And that's what's so cool. Like, to do this, because it's different, it's unique, and it's not going to be full of all of the pastels that we normally see during this holiday. All right. But because we are doing this in real time, I'm heating up my glue gun right now. And so this is going to be the centerpiece. And this is what it is, just in case you wanted to get a good look. It's this cute little bunny thing that I got, again, from the Dollar Tree. And then what we're going to do is that I'm just going to lay carrots. Here, I probably have to grab my phone and show you guys. Okay, so we're just going to lay carrots. Can you see, like, you know, just sporadically around the wreath, like so. And that's all the pop of color I think we are going to need. In fact, I'm not going to add a million trinkets. Am I doing good holding the camera? I'm trying to like, sometimes I like to go ahead and just lay things out while I'm waiting. What do you think of, I'm trying to see, what do you think of just this simple pop of color, right? Super simple, super easy. And again, it can be very budget friendly. So if you're like, hey, I don't have a bunch of trinkets and you don't have to go out and buy any, this is all you need. All right. This is it. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this. Come on, glue gun. All right. All right, I think we got some glue. All right, and then this is it. This is the easy tutorial right here. And like I said, I will be showing up again with some different wreaths styles. I'm still playing around with that gray board, so we can do another, we're gonna do a rose. There's so much, but like I said, this week I had to take some time off. I needed to really focus on my shop that I have here in Lakeport, and you guys can see my shops. If you go into this to the description box, I'll put a link there. It's really cool. Something that I've been thrown into, and so it's still a learning process. So if you ever see me like not share a tutorial like in a few days, that means the shop needed tending to like ASAP. So, all right, here we go. Let me get you over here. So this is just about done. And I got, just so you guys know, I'm also just a bath bomb fanatic. And I just got the bath bomb press machine. Yeah, so I got the bath bomb press machine. So you guys are gonna start seeing a bunch of bath bomb tutorials. I have my Fruit Loop candles that I just made. They smell just like Fruit Loops. But yes, we are doing the rose. I am ready to do a rose. All right, we're gonna throw this on here. What I like to do is when I put a thing on there, I flip it over so that the glue doesn't just like drip all off the board. And kind of smash it down a little bit. Give it a few minutes. Hopefully my carrots don't come falling off. I don't know if they were all dried. Okay. All right. And now, so we have, okay, so I'm just going to bring this. So, you know, typically at the top of the, like, oh, Jane, it can't. These are simple. I promise you, yours looks just as good as mine. If you're just doing like this curl method, believe me, yours are looking fabulous. I used to always compare mine to other people, and they, believe me, don't do that. I'm dying to learn how to make the rose. Yes, the rose is coming up. I've watched some tutorials, and again, I don't know if they make it harder than it actually, I don't know. I'm ready to make one, but we'll be trying. So because of the holes, I'm covering them up with little carrots, okay? That's what I'm doing right here. I couldn't think of anything else to cover it with because we're not putting anything else on here. So we're gonna have a few extra carrots. All right, let me just kind of hang out, let this dry. I'm like trying to fan it. But yes, what is it? Comparison is the killer of joy or something like that. That's my favorite quote that I like to use when I start comparing my stuff. Hey, Linda. Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm glad that you're able to tune into this one. We are towards the end. Okay, let me just kind of, all right. And my lighting is a little off in here. It's super bright just so I can do my stuff. I don't want this to come off. All right, here we go. I'm going to give you a close-up in just a minute. I love this. I am so excited. Should I put carrots, because you guys are live with me, should I put carrots down here so I have 4, or should I just leave the 2? this is where I always am like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? But okay, here's what we got. So we've got the cute curls. We've got the carrots from the Dollar Tree. We've got our sign from the Dollar Tree. No ribbon. I used up the last of some black and white mesh that I had and then added some that I had a full roll of. I did not use the full roll. I don't know how many curls on here. And again, this is an Easter wreath that is not pastel. It is not colorful, as you can see. It's your simple farmhouse. I say farmhouse because farmhouse is very neutral. So this is what we got. So somewhat budget friendly. If you can use leftover mesh that you have, add a bunch of colors if you want. But this is what we got. Doop doop. Put a couple of eggs. I don't have any black and white eggs. And because I wanted to keep just the one color on here, we're just going to stick with carrots. We are going to do a wreath with the centerpiece because so many people were like, do eggs for the center. And I was like, okay. I went and bought the styrofoam that everybody told me to get. I have that. And so, but we're not going to do eggs today. Even though this is about eggs, I'm like, I wanted to say very, very neutral. And I only have colored eggs. If I had black and white eggs, they would be on here. But, all right. So this is the farmhouse. I'm just going to say it's the farmhouse Easter wreath tutorial with curls. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I've been knocking some tutorials out. I've been uploading, 3 to 4 times a week. And so just leave it like, thank you. So I really want to just continue with that. Like I said, if I'm ever MIA for just a moment, just thank you, Jenny. I'm just, focusing on my shop because it's still so brand new that there are times where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to figure it out. So if you follow me over on Instagram, you'll see it in my stories. I talk about it over there. But yes, I have quite a few stuff, and it's always going to be a mixture of things. Like I have a lemon curd recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you guys on a tutorial, that kind of stuff. And so I responded to a bunch of comments. I'm still getting back to a bunch of them, but I had to just do a live because it's been a minute. So, oh, yeah, Texas gets pretty toasty up there or down there. Yeah, Cali, we could still use our hot glue gun. But I'm so glad that you guys all joined me on this one. Again, I probably might do another live, and it might be a weekday. You never know, so just make sure that you're subscribed, and of course that you hit the notification bell. I'm so random, and because of everything that I do, it's always random. So, but yes, thank you guys so much for joining me on this Sunday. If you are where the time changes like me, try to have a good day, because I know so many people that lost an hour, they're like, oh my God, I got 11 hours of sleep. I went to bed at 7:30 last night. And so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again soon. I'm going to go hang this on my door. And yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. All the information to follow me on my Instagram, Facebook will be in the description box, as well as my shop. And sign up for my email because I got a bunch of stuff happening. So anyways, see you guys later.